gold is a shiny dead rock. Sell it all. You really want to, if you want to elevate U.S.'s economic leadership in the world, there are two very simple strategies. Dump the gold and buy Bitcoin because you simultaneously demonetize the asset held by your enemies. Who owns the gold, right? You just sell it all and demonetize gold once and for all, put a stake in its heart, and buy Bitcoin, and you get 25% of the Bitcoin network for free.
Well, because it's very difficult to increase the supply of gold. It's very difficult to increase the supply of gold substantially. Every year, the supply of gold goes up at only around 1.5% to 2%. And so that means that people who hold it as money end up doing very well for themselves, and people who hold other things don't do well. And that is true for gold, and that's what made gold money for the whole world practically at the beginning of the 20th century. Then governments come about, and they use their debt as money, and since then, the average over the last 60 years or so, between 1960 and 2020, for 60 years, the average fiat currency grew in supply at around 14% per year. Or overall, fiat currencies grew in supply at around 14% per year. So we went from 1.5% to 14%, about 10-fold increase in the supply growth rate. And 14% per year means that on average, you lose half of the value that's stored in money over 5 years. So you lose half of the value of your money over 5 years. That's the average fiat experience. Of course, some currencies are better than the average, like the US dollar and euro. They only increase at around 7-8% per year. Some currencies are a lot worse. They increase at 20, 50, maybe 100 sometimes percent per year. But on average, it's just continuously increasing in supply, so its value declines. And because its value declines, that incentivizes everybody to A, not save, and B, take on a lot of debt. And that's why everybody is in debt. And that's what Bitcoin fixes. If we go back to having a hard money, where money is no longer debt, we no longer need to be monetizing debt. We no longer need to get everybody to become a debt slave in order for us to have a form of money. We have a form of money that is just a commodity that doesn't require anybody to get into debt for it. Bitcoin is continuously proving its value to more and more people. More people are beginning to realize it. And as more people realize just how revolutionary and important this is as a monetary technology, more people buy it and the price keeps going up. It's been going on for quite a while, and I think it's going to continue because ultimately Bitcoin is a money that cannot be inflated. Nobody can make more of it. There's only going to be 21 million. That's it. And it's just such a simple fact, but it is so unique because no other form of money can credibly claim such a property. And that means that eventually everything continues to decline next to Bitcoin because you keep making more and more of everything. Supply growth rate. So every year now for this 4-year period, we're going to be having a 0.8% growth. So that's half of the supply growth rate of gold. And then the 4 years after that, it's going to drop to 0.4%. And then 4 years after that, it's going to also drop by a half. So it's effectively heading to zero practically very soon. And the supply is not really increasing anymore. So from now on, anybody who wants to get Bitcoin, they need to work for it. There's no way for anybody to mine it. There's no significant quantities of mining it, and that's a good thing. The good thing about money that isn't easy to make is that people have to work and to do productive things in order to make it. So everybody gets busy doing productive things. Whereas with easy money, where government can just print money, then you don't have to work. You don't have to provide society with value. You just got to provide government with an excuse to run the money printer and give you money. And then who needs to work? And so that's why I think we see a lot of economic problems in the world, because governments can just print money and hand it out to people who are not productive.
Welcome to the Crypto Teacher. And I come back with that video just to make you think.
Don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel.
And make sure you join the Patrons. If you're not a part of the Patrons, make sure you're hitting the Cash App. And also, guys, make sure you go like and follow the TikTok. More videos to come. And we have Michael Saylor says, sell your gold and buy Bitcoin. But guys, what do I teach you? We follow the money. And the central banks are buying up gold. It's called diversity. And there's nothing wrong with you buying gold, Bitcoin, and other utility cryptos. And remember, the Crypto Teacher told you. And with all the money printing, Bitcoin has benefited. We see the money supply keeps going up, stablecoin supply keeps going up, and of course, Bitcoin and crypto are going up. But when we see the stablecoins start to shrink, and we know the money supply is eventually going to start to shrink, we're going to see how Bitcoin and crypto act. We know how it's going to act. We're definitely going to have a pullback. And we had the Fed print 80% of all money in existence in 2 years to speed up the death of fiat. And not only is money being tokenized, but the whole economy is going to be tokenized. And then the sheep go inside the metaverse and they'll be in a real life video game. Nothing will be real, all digital goods. But you'll be in a virtual world where you think they're real. And remember, the crypto teacher told you. And we're going to have the rise of the machines. And now the machines have money. These digital assets, crypto. Remember, crypto means hidden message, hidden meaning. They now can pay each other in the economy without a human involved. And if you don't believe me, go to my TikTok. I'll put up new videos. Go watch the TikTok. And don't forget to follow. But with all this said, that's the reason why Doge is taking the narrative, which is true. The government is spending a lot of money, wasted money, but when they do the cuts, it's going to hurt real families. And nobody's going to see that. No one's going to talk about it. We know how the mainstream media does. But it's going to put millions of people out of work and hurt the whole economy. But remember, that's the plan. Destroy this legacy market so the fourth industrial revolution can rise. The machine takeover. And remember, the crypto teacher told you. And we have Representative French here on Bitcoin and crypto regulation. Stablecoin rules are right around the corner the same way in MiCA and the EU. And like I said in the earlier video, regulation is going to start shrinking these stablecoins, shrinking liquidity, and put the control back in the hands of the Fed. And don't forget, now these stable coins are programmable. They can tell you what, when, how to buy, and you have 3 to 6 months to spend them or poof, it's gone. And we know the NWO caused the problem, wait for the reaction, and run in with the solution. And while the machines are taking over the economy, the sheep will be at home getting that free money. But little do they know, that money is programmable. And Swift will be able to see everything they're buying with Chainlink. So then therefore they'll be able to know you better than you know yourself. Giving Swift to all seeing eye. And remember, the crypto teacher told you. Because he knows. When it comes to the NWO, it's all planned out. You have a wonderful day.
Third one is digital assets. We need a market structure for digital assets. We don't have rules of the road. Under Chairman Gensler, we had just regulation by enforcement. This is not helping America succeed, not helping technological advance, innovation for Web3, the use of blockchain, both in publicly traded companies and in financial services. So that is the top priority for us. And our majority leader, Steve Scalise, has it on his first 100 days of the House is to move a regulatory structure bill for digital assets. And I also believe a dollar-backed payment stable coin for under U.S. law as well.
You believe in a Bitcoin reserve?
You know, I don't really, I have to say I know Cynthia Loomis from Wyoming. I heard her give her speech at the Bitcoin conference in Nashville. I understand why some people are attracted to that. I'd have to think long and hard about what the value of that is to the United States or the Treasury. But I am certain of this, that we need a fair-minded, fit-for-purpose regulatory structure for digital assets in this country.
Going to a different economy, and we're going to be learning more about that as we go. But clearly, we're learning that things can be done from remote locations. We're learning that technology can replace people even more than we thought.
We're not going back to the same economy. We're recovering, but to a different economy, and it'll be one that is more leveraged to technology. And I worry that that is going to make it even more difficult than it was for many workers.
In Silicon Valley, and my friends who work in technology know that what we did to the manufacturing workers, we are now going to do to the retail workers, the call center workers, the fast food workers, the truck drivers, and then even bookkeepers, accountants, insurance agents, lawyers, and on through the economy. So what happened to the manufacturing workers is a very clear sign.
And so we'll import Chinese-based CBDC technology. So it's going to be CBDC in a box provided to you by the People's Bank of China.
But every stock, every bond, every currency, every commodity, every piece of art, every private business, every piece of real estate will eventually be a token on a blockchain, an entry on a ledger, permanent and immutable. We will have truth instead of trust, and we will save over $7 trillion a year. 6 to 8% of global GDP is wasted by the friction of the trust industry that's necessary when you have dual entry accounting. With triple entry accounting, which is what a blockchain is, we get rid of all of that friction. It's a beautiful future.
Like what you see in China and their social credit scoring systems, right? If we get identity wrong, it could be a tool to enslave humanity. And if we get it right, it could be a tool to liberate humanity. And as an American, I'm obviously rooting for the one that's on the side of freedom.
Bitcoin is an international asset. And also, I do believe the role of crypto is, it's digitizing gold.
I actually believe this technology is going to be very important. Look at it. We have been part of a huge revolution in investing through ETFs. We believe that ETFs will be changing the whole way we invest. Many people still use it as a means, people are investing it for indexing. No, the majority of people who are putting money in in ETFs are active investors that are buying exposure. The entire bond market is being transformed as we talk right now. I believe the next generation for markets, the next generation for securities will be tokenization of securities. And if we could have that distributed ledger that we know every beneficial owner, every beneficial seller, we all have our code of who's buying, who's selling, instantaneous settlement. And think about it, it changes the whole ecosystem.
Chinese bank ICBC has been hit by a ransomware attack, and the U.S. Treasury market, as a result of that, has been disrupted. This, according to the Financial Times. We're getting at more right now with Bloomberg's Shonali Bassick. Shonali, what do we know?
Listen, we have the Financial Times now reporting that ICBC, one of China's largest banks here, was hit with a ransomware attack. And remember, they're a very significant intermediary in the Treasury market. The SIFMA has told its members that this has been part of the reason here that the system is kind of clogged up, if you will, during that auction that we saw a little bit before. The attack had prevented ICBC, according to the Financial Times, from settling Treasury trades on behalf of other market participants. A large executive at a major bank also telling the paper that such a large party on the fixed income clearing corp creates major concerns, potentially impacting the liquidity of Treasury markets.
Now, it was not just a poor auction. It was absolutely lousy, and when the dealers have to step in to save a treasury auction, that's a rare occurrence. And
Cryptoteacher and the new World Order book, plus the 3 kids books, is time to re-educate. Also, new to cryptos, Coinbase, Bitrue, Binance. Do not forget book links and crypto links are in the description. The stock channel, guys. Don't forget to go like, subscribe, spread everywhere. You have your Kobo, your chip stocks, your banking, your gaming. While everybody's sitting at home, get home stocks, the Seaver, the biotech stocks. And while everybody's at home wishing, they were still getting that free money. What are they doing? Drinking and smoking weed. Don't forget about those stocks, and you have a wonderful day. The most powerful person in the world is the storyteller. The storyteller sets the vision, values, and agenda of an entire generation to come. Steve Jobs. And guys, you know I truly believe in this. When you look at the New World Order, they're the storytellers. And that's the reason why I wrote my New World Order book. But guys, now it's time to change the current generation. And I wrote 3 kids books. You know I love the Trinity because I understand the power that's in it. So I have 3 books. We have an opportunity to change the generation, to educate, not just me, but I want to show you that I take action on a daily basis. And I want you to take action on a daily basis. Whether it's your job, whether it's in your community, we have an opportunity right now to educate the masses. I posted this on my Twitter account. Please share, but this is a short clip of the 3 books. There's going to be a clothing line and action figures. Please get these books for your kids, nephews, cousins, friends, so therefore we can start the re-education now. Because as we see, the 4th Industrial Revolution foundation is definitely here. robots, algorithms, drones, taking humanity out the picture. We have to re-educate. But let's get into the video.
Part 1. King Joshua and Grandma Tam save the village. Part 2. King Joshua and Grandma Tam save New York from COVID-33. Part 3. King Joshua and Grandma Tam goes to China.
It's mandatory to get part 1, part 2, and part 3 of this series. It's time to re-educate Generation Z.